Welcome to the Sandali MX Park just outside of Ottawa, Ontario for the penultimate round of the 2011 Monster Energy Motocross Nationals. Mark Travers and Brian Coster in the booth. Very interesting sand track to deal with today, Brian, and some humid conditions.
Oh boy, Mark, you got that right. It is some hot and it is a wicked sand track. Earlier on, you got to talk to New Zealand's own Kieran Lee.
Kieran, you're sitting 6th in points in the MX2 class, first year racing pro in Canada, and every single weekend you're looking at a brand new track. I'm interested to know how the series is going for you so far, and are you having a good time up here?
It's difficult every weekend going to a new track, but sort of adjust pretty fast, and I guess everyone else has done it before. It's all a new track for someone, so just got to go with it and just ride like I know how to. And this summer's been good so far. I've had a lot of fun, met a heap of new people. It's good. I'm definitely going to come back next year.
Talk to us about the interesting sponsorship program that you have working with KTM and their dealers across the country. Every single round you have a brand new sponsor and a brand new front fender.
That's it, yeah. Every round so far we've had a brand new fender, and the different shops help us out every time, and we can't thank them enough. You know, we wouldn't be here racing without them, and yeah, it's awesome for them to do this for us, so thanks very much to them.
Nice job down there, Travs, with the likable Kiwi. The MX2 boys on the line, Travs. It's really important for them to mentally get their gait dialed in and packed down just the way they like it.
And of course, Brian, you can see the sand at this track, and it's a very dynamic sand track. Unlike Gopher Dunes, we always talk about the difference between these two tracks, and here it is. Sand up top, but it has that clay base down below.
Yeah, there's some rocky bits in the back as well, and this track gets very hard edge bumps in the braking and acceleration zones. So this track is alive, much like Gopher Dunes. It's changing lap in, lap out, and it does have its own personality, and it's very difficult on the riders, gets super rough.
Thinking about the weather, of course, we talked about the heat and the humidity. The sun has been coming out occasionally, but there is a possibility of some rain coming in, so we've got some variable conditions. A lot of the young pilots in the MX2 class getting their race face on, picking their gates, and as you like to say, Fabs, getting focused.
Double thumbs up from Nicky Beattie last week on both hole shots in Moncton, so he is a young speedster on a charge. To our leaderboard after 7 of 9 rounds, Tyler Medaglia way out front, Schoberg and Jeremy battling. And look at the three-way with Lee, Ingles, and Noddick.
Nice job, Fabs. Okay, riders going out onto parade. We've got MX2 action coming up. This is the Sandali MX Park just outside of the nation's capital in Richmond, Ontario. As we get ready for round 8 of the 2011 Monster Energy Motocross Nationals. MX2 pilots on the line for their first moto, and this one will be brought to you by Royal Distributing. Fabs, look at that little overcast, heavy haze. You can almost feel the humidities. They're tucked in behind Julie there.
It is a sticky heat here in Sandali, Travs, and you know, with that heat, these riders are going to be sweating big time. Sweat's going to be getting in the goggles. The sand's going to be sticking to them. Great shot at Tyler Medaglia right on the inside. Kempville, Ontario native. This is his home track on that platform. Give off. Gate is down, Travs, and drag race is on. On board with Kieran Lee. A great start on that Keeney KTM. Look at him on the gas here. Few guys squeak by. Oh, Zach Ruff gets in there. There's Kyle Ward, number 50. Great start for him.
Fabs, we got a problem in the first corner. The number 1 of Tyler Medaglia is down, as well as Ingles, and I think I saw the number 28 of Dylan Kalin with a problem.
We've got some fast riders in both sand specialists down early. I'm liking the outside line. Lee gets around, Ward is down. Brad Noddick squeaks by, and we've seen Kieran Lee and Noddick in each other's grill week in, week out. And the 115 of Zach Ruff all the way from BC. That young kid with another good start as we get some roost in the face.
Oh my goodness, and again we're seeing right off the top, Brian, those option lines at Sandali. Kieran Lee used that outside line with Noddick. Ward goes down on the inside, so there are places to get by early on. Our leaders are now taking that left-hander, Brian, into the brand new section for the pros only. It's called Hell's Kitchen.
It's a difficult section with lots of jumps, and these riders got a rhythm. They're double, triple, double, double, and then they do a 180 and coming back to a step on, step off. So just like in Supercross, if you miss the beginning of the rhythm section, Travis, it's going to cost you dearly at the end of it, and you could lose positions.
We saw this young rider off the top, the number 45, Nikki Beattie, getting incredible starts out here in the East, Brian. Right now, nice little clicker off the tabletop, getting some pressure from Boulanger, 386, French-Canadian rider in that Langolier Suzuki, looking pretty good, top 10.
Great start for both these young riders, too. A replay of our start, the pack coming through clean. There's Beattie on the outside. He's dueling for the whole shot with Jeremy, and you can see Tyler get hung up there, sliding, and then high sides gathered up by the pack. But that Royal Distributing whole shot goes to number 14, local boy on the KTM, Jeremy Medaglia.
The pack is sweeping through that Smith corner. Boulanger got a handful of the Kiwi Kieran Lee on the inside for this little hip jump. Lee on the inside with a nice line, and he stuffs Boulanger, and here comes Noddet.
Noddet wants it bad. Now, we saw Lee was behind Noddet, so he got by him earlier on. Noddet is known for his late moto charges. He's in really good shape this year. So the Washington native on that Bulldog Racing getting helped out by Westside Cycle. Man, he's having a great year.
That's once again the leading edge Kawasaki's a Schoberg, and Politelli with Dynamite starts sitting second and third, and Kevin Benoit is in tow in fourth.
Well, Travs, it's our usual suspects up front. It's those KTMs and those Cowies. When Tyler Medaglia gets a bad start, those boys seem to really rock it away up front. And Noddet starting to make charges and advances on Boulanger, and he's taking some punishment and eating some roost for it.
Let's talk about how quickly Tyler Medaglia has found some good lines back on the bike after that high side corner number 1, making some moves, and he's inside the top 15 right now.
Looks like he's cautiously working up on some of these lappers. Oh, look at that line! Feet on the pegs for Noddet. What a beautiful heads-up line! Gets that triple in the middle, so does Boulanger, but that pass was made coming into that corner. Feet on the pegs. I'm liking Noddet here.
You can see that Noddet has a lot of Supercross experience, Brian. That entry, you're right, inside line, and then that pop-up entry into that section was fantastic. To this kid, local boy, Jeremy Medaglia. Look at him tear it apart.
He's just destroying this track right now. He knows the lines here, but just like at Gopher Dunes, the tracks always develop different on a pro race day, and this has got a lot of braking bumps, a lot of chop. There's not a lot of room for these riders to rest, and you can just see the activity on the motorcycle. Suspensions everywhere. Look at this three-way battle. Beattie, Lee, and Noddet. Lee on the outside for 5th place, gets him on the hip jump around the outside, and he's gonna lay it over into this corner. And there's some good lines on the inside, middle, and outside, so you can really throw the bikes around this Sandali racetrack. And look at Noddet, outside to inside, he's trying everything, trying not to follow, getting out of the line of fire, that sand roost.
We've been talking about the MX2 class all season long, Brian, how it gives an opportunity for young riders to get out there and get some good race experience, and Beattie's getting a handful of it, and there goes Noddet with that inside line to get into the new section.
Noddet has found a gem right there. Beattie goes to the inside, but I think it's a little too late. He just gets a little wheel spin there. Noddet has it in the bag. Now Noddet's got his eyes on the 907, the Kiwi, the man you interviewed earlier, Kieran Lee.
To our leader, number 14, Jeremy Medaglia on his home track, coming through the Smith corner. But I'll tell you what, these leading-edge Kawasaki's are not letting him get away.
You got that right. Schoberg in front. Look at the speed and aggression. Politelli right now, he wants a piece of Schoberg. These two have been battling hard all year long. And Politelli's been following Schoberg, I think, a few more times than Schoberg's been following Politelli. And right there, they're dueling hard.
Oh, Medaglia on the outside through that same Smith corner. Brian carrying tons of speed, of course. He's put a lot of laps on this track. Let's get back to that battle for second place. You talked about these two riders, but right now Politelli is ahead of Schoberg in points. Oh, what a line for Joby on the outside.
I love the way both these guys ride. Schoberg a little bit more aggressive on the entries. There he is. He blocks the line. He sees Politelli right there. Just holds it on. Takes the line away. So now Politelli's eating more roost, Travis.
But you watch these two teammates ride. I would say very clean racing, Brian. They're not super aggressive. They're just aggressive with style.
Great point you're making. You know, you don't want to take out your teammate. We saw what happened at the start of the year with Spencer Knowles and Politelli. He took him out, and that was a racing incident, but it did reflect good on Knowles. So when you go back to the trailer, you want to keep it clean under the tent.
Stats, I'm really liking what the Hell's Kitchen is offering here, because a lot of times on flat sand tracks, you have to create obstacles, and they've done a nice job in there, especially all the fans tucked in at the back.
Good point, man. That is a wicked section of the track. We have seen some passing there, so it's working out real good. Politelli's starting to get a little strong on Schoby. He's shouldering him a wheel right now into the back section. You can see that chop under braking. The riders really want to drag the back brake to keep the motorcycle calm and steady. And you can see how easy it is to get bucked around out here.
But in a lot of cases, this track is pretty smooth. It's choppy, but it's not that bouncy rough like Gopher Dunes is.
Oh, it's a different rough. And you know I rode this track yesterday, and it is a choppy rough. And it is sore. Oh, no! Politelli looking for that outside line, goes right around that mound. And that's pretty easy to occur at the speeds these guys are riding. Just a momentary lapse. You want to try something new, blew the whole corner.
Well, that outside line doesn't have a real defined entry to it, Brian, so you can see how that happened to Politelli. Let's watch Kalen using that same outside line, and it looks like he's got Eric Jeffries on the inside and makes a nice pass.
Well, that outside line is smoother, but you can see that chop coming in there. It's really rough. You want to get into the smooth lines so you can keep that power down. The least amount of bouncing, the better. Here's a man right now in 4th place that is having a good charge, takes the white flag or last lap, and Tyler has made it all the way up to 5th. So not a bad ride. We know he wants more positions out of this.
Yeah, going down in the first corner, Brian, way back in the pack. Got to make a million passes. Oh, the 373 of Topher Ingles. Helmet is off, and it looks like he's pushing it back to the pits. So a DNF for him too. But look at Jerry Medaglia. Look at this. This is the final lap, Brian, and he is still twisting hard.
He's giving her and using all those bounces to his advantage. These guys make it look easy. Trust me, it's not. This is a difficult racetrack. The sand, though, gives you something good to bite into, and a nice little fist pump. Not too confident, not too cocky. Still got another moto to go, T.
J-Dags with his 3rd win of the season. Brian, we got more action coming up.
Welcome back to Sandalee MX101. A little recap of our moto winner, Jeremy Medaglia. Just giving her out there to our Yamaha leaderboard. Shobi in 2nd. Medaglia Tyler makes it all the way to 5th. Not at lead. Sonny Drake and the 2 youngsters, Beatty and Kalen, round it out.
The number 14 KTM Road Distributing do it on the home turf. It's got to feel good, buddy. That was a solid ride from start to finish.
Yeah, I got the whole shot. My leg was working awesome. Obviously, like came out like a good bike length in front of everyone. Put my head down, just just tried to be smooth and got the W. I was happy.
Just got off to a great start, out in 2nd and came around 3rd lap. Had a friggin' gnarly swap. Thought I was going down, so that made my heart rate just go through the roof. After that, just sort of had to settle. Tried making my ground up in the end, but he was riding good. The track was fast, and just happy to get a 2nd. So hopefully we can get a good moto on the 2nd one.
Great moto for Austin Politelli there. Not too sure what happened about midway through. You were trying to literally closing the gap on your teammate Tyler Schoberg there. Tell us what happened.
I just overjumped that jump and went to go to the outside, and there was no berm, and I went off the track.
Tough break for Politelli, but he's got another moto to make good here this afternoon. Nice shot of the MX1 mechanics getting down towards the line, pushing their respective riders' bikes into position. 2 series championship after 7 of 9. Fasciati has a big lead, but there is a lot of unfinished business in that class. A couple riders like Urquhart are out. Goldie's got some big news.
Hey guys, down here on the front of the gate for the start of the MX1 moto, and unforeseen incidents here in practice. Bobby Canary, buddy, going out. We're not too sure what the injury is, but you're definitely not making the motos today.
Yeah, definitely not making the motos. We had a little get off in practice. Ended up breaking my collarbone, so that's always a bummer, especially right here at the end of the season. We were in a points race, and it's just a bad day. It's beautiful out. Nice day for racing. I'm not going to be in there.
Kind of a shame for sure. So now you get to kind of sit back. Are you going to enjoy this, or is this kind of eat you up?
Yeah, it eats me up bad, but you can always sit here and learn and watch and enjoy the day. What else is there to do here? Everyone puts on a good show here and good racing, and might as well take it in one day and enjoy it while I can.
Tough break for that Rockstar Suzuki team, but Bobby K still with a smile on his face. I'm loving it. MX1 pilots on the line, and the Kiwi Mason Phillips, Gold Jeans, caught up with him earlier.
Here with Kinney Wheel Sport KTM, Mr. Mason Phillips, buddy. Long way from home in New Zealand, but this is basically second home for you here in Canada. 2011 season's winding down. You're having a pretty good year on the KTM 350. Give me your thoughts so far, because it's been a hell of a time watching you.
Honestly, I've kind of found it tough this year. Every single moto I've had to work my heart out. There's just a lot more guys. There's a lot more depth in the MX1 class this year, and it's made it difficult. Definitely this is the toughest MX year I've had here. And but no, I'm hoping to finish the series out good. I need to make up points these next 2 rounds and get another good number like last year.
Great job, Goose. Okay, MX1 pilots going out on to break. Colton Fasciati, is he getting the tire up the temperature? I don't think so, not in the sand. MX1 action coming up. Welcome back to Richmond, Ontario, home of the Sandilly MX Park and a gorgeous race facility as we get ready for the first MX1 Moto of the day. And it will be brought to you by MX Performance, MXPMag.com, the #1 motocross magazine in the country. Brian?
30-second board is up, so all the riders are firing up their engines. If anyone has a problem, they have an opportunity to raise their hand to get a 2-minute hold. All the guys going through their last-minute rituals with the goggles, and now the adrenaline starts to spike. 5-second board, nice shot of our series champ Fasciati right up the inside, Travs, focusing on the gate, and it is down.
Riders tearing up that big long start straight into the left-hander. Looks like Teddy Mayer with a great start. I'm liking PJ Stratton, and look at Fasciati on the inside, but I think number 12, Teddy Mayer, gets the Royal Distributing hole shot. But right now, we are on board the 23 of Sean Moffenbauer.
Moffenbauer's got a great start on that Yamaha Loop 450 Yamaha, sitting in third, takes the inside alone, jams right in. I don't know if Fasciati was doing a little brake check or just adjusting on his line, but a bit of a moment there from Moffenbauer and the rest of the pack in behind that corner. We see a lot of bunching up, but right now, it is all go for Moffenbauer. Fasciati, you can see a little bit of dust here and there underneath this nice watered surface, and this is the last section before that new pro section, and Keith rolls into third.
Keith's tucking into third place over that big tunnel jump. Brian, I love this section, real supercrossy into this left-hander, bringing the boys into the Hell's Kitchen.
Likes Fasciati's got that beautiful inside line, triple, single, double, so a lot of different variations through here, and the riders just want to get through clean. I tell you, when you stand beside the track, you don't realize how fast they hit that first one right out of the corner. So a lot of skill involved by these top pros.
A few times this season, Teddy Mayer says, give him a start. He can run up front with Fasciati and Klatt right now, doing a pretty good job of holding off our series points leader. Bit of a mixed bag with the weather. I think I see a little bit of rain coming down fast.
It is starting to trickle a little bit. Mayer riding very good right now. Fasciati taking alternate lines. And there's Mayer with a great start, gets the front end just a little hung up. And on the drag race out, it's anyone's game, but by half a wheel, the nod goes to number 12, leading edge Kawasaki, monster-backed Teddy Mayer.
It's a wide start, Brian, but you really have to funnel into that left-hander, so that's where it gets difficult.
And you can see PJ Stratton and Keith right there lurking in behind the number 23, but now it's Klatt with his head down, trying to divert some of that roost away from the goggles.
In fact, let's move back up to the lead. It looks like Mayer's got some heavy pressure from Fasciati on the outside. Fasciati crosses over the old finish line. Oh my goodness, what a fantastic pass. He put his head down, the Red Bull helmet went into that corner first.
Wow, all over, but the crying there. Mayer still remaining optimistic, trying to chase down Fasciati. Maybe he can pick up a few lines, latch onto that breakaway speed that we've seen from Colton. We know Mayer is up to the task.
Let's go back and have a look at that pass again, Brian. Of course, almost side by side over that tunnel jump, but it's more aggressive and a smoother line for Fasciati.
Feet on the pegs for Fasciati. He got a little smoother entry. Teddy hit that one bump that kind of deflected him, and that's all Colton needed, and he made up his mind he was going to make that pass, and that was just an aggressive move, but gotta love the feet on the peg style of Colton Fasciati.
The number 101 of Matt Gorky slips by Robbie Marshall, 774 KTM for 6th spot. So some of our top names starting to find their lines in here. Up to our leader, number 10, Colton Fasciati, Red Bull Yamaha, looking pretty good right now. Teddy Mayer on the leading edge, Kawasaki. Oh, what a dynamite shot, Brian, as they hook through that left-hander in 2nd place.
Yes, and then it is Kyle Keese that got by Moffenbauer, so he's riding strong, but it's Moffenbauer really impressing me right now, holding Klatt off for numerous laps. That is huge right now, and he's doing a good job of just feeding Dusty some roost here.
The one thing I've noticed about Moffenbauer, Klatt with a nice line on the inside. Moffenbauer left the door open. But what I like about Moffenbauer is his aggression this year, Brian. He's riding with so much more confidence, but super aggressive on the track, and I love that.
Well, the confidence stems from being in top physical shape, which he is. And you can see him picking lines there, coming into the left of all those braking bumps. These subtle little nuances you learn about track and line choice saves that precious energy towards the end of the race. You go out there and hit every bump, then you're going to be burnt out early and just work your way back. So these guys got to conserve to a degree, but these motos aren't quite long enough for that, so they got to push hard.
Gorky slips by Moffenbauer, so he gets himself into 4th place. And another point too, Brian, is the intimidation factor. Moffenbauer's not intimidated anymore, running up in this top freight. Nice little cluster for 10th, PJ Stratton, and the number 62 of Michael Willard.
Willard's had some good results on this track before. He did pretty good at Gopher Dunes in the sand. He's actually won there in the MX2. So we'll see if he can mount his way further into the top 10, maybe land on the box.
Fasciotti tripling into the Hells Kitchen, Brian, with the rain starting to come down a little bit harder, although this track can definitely take a little bit of rain, a little bit of Mother Nature. Looks like Keast on the inside. Klatt is pushing hard with that outside line. What a beauty. Oh, and Keast gets stifled on the inside. Klatt makes the pass, moves into third.
Klatt, this is where he had set up Moffenbauer, so he did that same little tactic there along the outside, getting his drive. Dusty Klatt, a super determined rider and one of the strongest riders. You can just watch him the whole race. You think he was a sure winner, but this guy right here, Fasciotti, just seems to have a 10th here, a 10th there. Gets around this track a little quicker.
Klatt is tearing this track apart right now, Brian, as he goes outside on the number 12 of Teddy Mayer, quarter before the finish. And I love how non-definitive that line was that he used, but he used speed to get into it. That's what I liked about it.
He's just using body English, leg, and body power. Here it is on the outside by the mechanics area. This single coming into the corner on the outside where Dusty took it is way lower and less steep. Dives into the outside, and this picks up that berm, and bam, thank you very much. What a ballsy move by Klatt. He's killing it out here.
Fabs, with these riders all riding pretty close in speed, it's about break points and when they're getting on the throttle coming out of corners, and Klatt is using it to his advantage. Oh, Gorky with a problem over that little hipper.
He stalled it. He stalled it. It's so easy to do on these big bikes. You want to always have your clutch in, not only to fan to increase power on the exits, but you want your clutch in under braking to avoid stalling. A slight miscue for Gorky, that's going to cost him, because these things are hard to start when they're hot.
Our leaders are coming through this back section, Brian. It looks really choppy back here, a little more moist in this back section.
Well, it's raining really hard. It's not affecting the track as much as it is the visibility of the riders. Now third place is starting to pick up a bit. Keast is starting to show wheel to Teddy Mayer. Uh-oh, we got Moffenbauer down with Josh Snyder. They tangle up here in the brass knuckle therapy corner. And it looks like it's Moffenbauer that gets away, and I think Schneider may have been a lapper there because Moffenbauer was way up front.
One of the fastest parts of the track, Brian, used to be a roller section. They took those rollers out, and man, did they come tearing around the Smith corner, and here comes the Wonder Klatt. Let's watch him.
Yeah, he comes around here. There's a bit of a dog leg, and then it hits that ski jump. Maybe we'll follow Teddy Mayer around. This little dog leg to the left. Oh, that is coming off the ski jump, sorry. So you come up to this thing really hard and just soar down that straightaway. He's just serving it up. He's up to fourth place. Teddy's just ahead of him on the last lap. Don't know if he's got time, but this man right here doing everything right. Colton Fasciotti on that Blackfoot Yamaha, man. Poetry.
In motion, Fabs, to the 101 of Matt Gorky with that stall sitting in fifth place, coming up and getting his last lap flag. So we are on our final stages of this moto to the number 1 of Dusty Klatt, sitting in second place. Classic Klatt style with that elbow and shoulder high. Checking back to Teddy Mayer. He is right there in third place.
Klatt, you look at the front of him, he is completely covered in mud from that rain. The rain has slowed right down now, but these guys have earned it. It is war out there with the sand and the rain. There it is, first moto win. Familiar face, Colton Fasciotti. Stick with us. Welcome back to round 8 here at Sandalee. A little friendly rivalry over who got the hole shot. No, Colton, it was Teddy Mayer. There's our first moto results brought to you by Yamaha. A great ride by Klatt. Keast holds on, but how about Gorky, a favorite in fifth?
It's interesting on this track because it looks to me like you have a hard time making up seconds. Everybody's going fast. So Cole gets out real quick and you have to battle your way into second place, and that's obviously where that gap is, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just like I said, I mean, if you want to race with Colt, I mean, it's going to have to be right behind him. So, I mean, hopefully he can make that happen and maybe put on some good racing for this next moto.
Grabbing the roll, distributing hole shot, finishing third in the first MX1 moto is the number 12 of Teddy Mayer. Teddy, a fantastic ride. You got a great start, buddy, and had a couple of good battles. I like the way you sold yourself in there for third place.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I got off to an awesome start and got a little pumped up at first. You know, like right on the second lap, and you know, I was just second guessing Colt. You know, I didn't know where he's going, and should have just rode my own lines, and you know, just went out there and had fun, and I can't complain. Third place, and second moto, I'll come out there and try to relax a little bit.
Nice job on the interviews, fellas. To the final round of the Eastern Canadian Women's Championship. Brianna DeGray up from New England gets a great hole shot, but it's the number 1 of Taylor Miller that pressures early. But look at DeGray. She loves the sand, and she's about one of the only riders to really give Taylor Miller a run for her money.
Great shot of the number 129 of Morgan Gillis, who was on the box in St. Julie and then had a problem in the middle of this moto, broke her leg. They had to red flag this race, but they were able to get enough laps in to get a finish. But the best battle on the track is between Miller and DeGray. They went tooth and nail for almost the whole race, Brian.
It was a great race, and our hearts go out to Morgan Gillis and her family. But in the second moto, DeGray again with a really good start, but Taylor Miller moved out front early, and that rider up from Kentucky, she's riding super strong this year.
Nice little cluster there with Josie Lathian and Postakov mid-moto. Some good passes out in the sand. They really like this track, but really what it came down to was the Taylor Miller show, Fabs. All season long and all 3 rounds, she was the dominant rider and really set the bar for these young ladies to let them know where they need to be to get into that upper echelon type rider.
Yeah, true that. She is definitely bringing a lot to this class. We saw the 8-10 of Kristen McDonald had a real strong showing here also in Sandali. But right there, Miller takes that win, the overall and the championship. There she is with the #1 plate, Travs, looking good.
Up on the stage with the Grand Poupah. There you go. There's your top 3 in the series. We've got Miller, DeGray, and Postakov. Welcome back to the 8th round of the 2011 Monster Energy Motocross Nationals. Mark Travers and Brian Koster in the booth, and we are today racing at the Sandali MX Park just outside of Ottawa, Ontario. This second MX2 Moto will be brought to you by Unit Clothing. Great shot of Sonny walking that board across, and there is the lovely Monster Julie. Oh my goodness, taking care of 30-board business, Fabs.
Well, Mark Travers, it is a very tough job. Good thing you and I are up to doing it.
Nobody does it better than RJ out there. RJ and Sonny taking care of business. Fabs, this is the 3rd moto of the day. The track is really setting up nice. I love the conditions with the heat and humidity. This one's gonna be a banger.
Oh, you can feel the thunder coming from these 254-stroke engines, highly tuned. The gate is down, Travis, and the race is on.
Coming into that first corner, looks like Benoit's got a nice line. I love Beatty once again. Nice. But it's the number 15 of Kevin Benoit getting that Royal Distributing hole shot. Beatty in tow.
Beatty's the bridesmaid twice today. That kid gets wicked starts from Sarnia, Ontario. We're on board with young Eric Jeffrey, Redemption Racing Kawasaki, way out wide, but a pretty good start for him, and he's consistently getting closer and closer to that top 10 finish.
Getting into the business cam, we see the number 15 of Benoit out in the lead. Medaglia using that outside line as he swings by Beatty for second place, and it looks like the Kawasaki's are moving up on Beatty.
It's such a wicked racetrack here that there's fast lines everywhere. It all comes down to, heart and throttle. Who's going to get it on faster and stay in your line? Because you get on the inside, you can drift wide. You get on the outside to hook up, you're going to make a pass.
And remember, Fabs, the MX2 class is made up of some brash young pilots out there. Those guys are so aggressive. You got to get out there and twist.
That's what I love about this class, man. These guys are young. They got a point to prove. They go for it every single corner of every lap. Maybe not quite as methodical as the big MX1 boys, but these guys run with heart and instinct.
Schoberg flips by Beatty in that right-hander. Now Politelli on the outside, and watching Beatty, Brian, I want him to be a little bit more aggressive with his defense.
Well, you remember he's a first-year pro, and he's surrounded by some super fast riders, so he's learning every weekend. I'm sure he's going to come back next season maybe a little more prepared with a little bit more speed. Remember, he is a young guy, so he's got a ways to go.
And right now, sitting inside the top 10, though, great experience. Medaglia with a so-so start. Looked like he was in about 6th or 7th spot as we get back to our leader, number 15, Kevin Benoit. Royal Distributing KTM out front, Brian, with a nice lead.
Well, what we've seen with Benoit is when he gets that hole shot, he usually wins the race. He gets just so fired up, and he just gets in his zone, and he manages to get that breakaway speed. So now the race is on. We'll see if young Jeremy can reel him in. But many times this year, when Benoit gets the shot, he's gone.
Kieran Lee off the ski jump, got on the inside line for that hip jump, and then blew by Beatty. Now Beatty's got his hands full with Medaglia. Boy, this is super aggressive early on.
And I love the 907 of Lee just lays it over in the air. A real showman and a crowd favorite here in Canada.
Fabs, this is corner number 2 as we see our top 4 or 5 pilots go through. Medaglia on the outside with a dynamite line, tons of throttle. Does he have Beatty over the tunnel? I think so.
Yeah, he comes down ahead of Beatty there. Looks like the pass is made. Benoit riding great, but look at this. Jeremy has closed it up a bit on that orange KTM. Of course, those motorcycles made in Austria. These green cowies coming from Japan. These two just dicing it up. I'm loving these rivalries we've got here under the tents.
And remember, we saw from those two teammates in Moto number 1, so these guys are renewing their acquaintances, but all eyes are on the lead right now. Jeremy Medaglia took the win in the first moto, sitting in second place, and he's got a ton of fans here, Brian, cheering him on to the For Business cam. Here we go for 3rd place.
Up close and personal, loving those shots with the GoPro Hero Cam. It's awesome stuff right here. And these teammates, Bolatelli and Schoberg, just seem to find each other every race. We talk about it time and time again. Schoberg is a smaller guy, but he's got such unbelievable entry speed into these corners. Never ceases to amaze me the way that kid just throws it into the corners.
And Bolatelli's been eating a lot of roost in this moto so far. You think, well, the whole day for crying out loud. Looks like the 24 of Jonathan Parise is leading the number 28 of Dylan Kalin right now, and they are sitting inside the top 10.
That battle is for 7th. Kalin on the all-white Suzuki making a charge on Parise, but right here it's back to Schoberg and Bolatelli. This ain't over. It's down to about a half a second, and the gloves are off, Travis.
Moving up to another pair of teammates, locking horns for the lead. Brian, number 15, Benoit, stymied a little bit with that inside line, but J-Dags is carrying a lot of speed, Brian. It's all about timing through here.
Jeremy jumped further onto the step-on, looked like he was going to go to the inside, stayed on the outside, but Benoit has the advantage, takes the line away, but the outside becomes the inside in this corner. There it is, it drifts wide. What a great pass by Jerry Medaglia, drifting right into the grill of the number 15.
Well, and that MXP corner is a real tight corner, so that outside line really loses time. I think it's the inside line you want for sure. J-Dags had it, moves into the lead. Well, this battle for third place is not going away. Schoberg and Bolatelli, leading edge Kawasaki's.
I think the rain came down here, Travis, and it helped keep this track a little smoother than normal. But this battle's pretty rough for 8th place. Topher on the outside of Parise, charging hard, and Parise maybe fading a bit. He hasn't been doing quite so many races as these other guys.
Really liking the aggression from Parise, a young French-Canadian rider that's super fast. I want to see him do the whole series again next year. As we move forward to the lead, it looks like Benoit's got that one down to about half a second, keeping the leader in tow. And Bolatelli is gotten by Schoberg in the back section for third place.
Well, we talked about the track being smooth. Well, it sure's not up here. Up to 5th is Tyler Medaglia, and on this track, it's a little faster. Everyone's going faster. He's not really putting much of a dent into those top 4 bikes.
The number 28 of Dylan Kalin is finding some lines out here, Brian. He's already up into 6th place, and it looks like he's got the number 907 of Kieran Lee in his sights right now.
He's taking that Hell's Kitchen line really nice, tripling in the middle. Tyler now starting to make a charge. Yes, Bolatelli is down. So 3rd place is down. That puts Tyler up into 4th. So this is the battle for 3rd with Tyler Schoberg. So a couple Tylers out here. They're about the same height. Both little, like, pit bulls on the bike.
We talked about how slippery this track is, Brian. At any minute, any second, the wheels can come out. That happened to Bolatelli. So all eyes are on this battle for 3rd. I think the hometown fans would love to get Tyler on the box.
Oh, for sure. And he's trying different options out here. Maybe not always the fastest, but he's trying everything. Benoit is absolutely not giving up on Jeremy at all. Keeping them super honest. There's like a bike length between the two. Equally prepared motorcycles too. So I don't think there's too much of a horsepower advantage for either of them.
And again, we're talking about 2 teammates who ride very clean out on the track. Both of those riders are very, very responsible out there. This is the battle for 5th place. We just saw how close they were, and now Kalin is tightening that one up.
And that's going into that Hell's Kitchen rhythm. Schoberg now has gotten passed by Tyler. So with the crowd's support, Tyler Medaglia's moved into 3rd from not such a great start. So he is on the box. A couple brothers right now as it stands will be on the box after this moto.
That super rough back section has been a problem for Schoberg today. First he lost the position to Bolatelli, then to Medaglia.
Now with 1 lap remaining, Jeremy has taken a nice little gap over Kevin Benoit. I think Benoit's, well, that's the mindset. This is almost over. He's rode his heart out. 2nd, not a bad result.
Kalin is still pressuring Lee for 5th place, and I just love how fit this young athlete is. Late in the moto, Brian. Look at this, working that inside line, which is super rough, and slips by for 5th place. What a pass.
Wow, awesome there. And the inside coming into the next corner is a little faster, so advantage Kalin.
Tyler Medaglia is sitting in 3rd place on his last lap, and here's 28 Kalin being pressured again by Lee, so that battle's not going away. Last lap flag.
Nice little scrubber for Lee. When he goes out on the racetrack, he says, I'm going to work. He never quits. He never gives up. This is a perfect example of that right now. Not quitting on Dylan Kalin.
I would say that Kalin right now is one of the pilots in the MX2 class that has impressed me the most. He really has come into this Eastern Series and shown everybody that he's a top 10 guy. To our leader, number 14, Jerry Medaglia, home track, in the lead, getting ready for a clean sweep.
I think we're going to see a few new guys on factory bikes next year. Takes the double moto win in Fine Style hometown. The crowd goes nuts for Jeremy Medaglia. To our Yamaha leaderboard, Benoit hangs in there. Tyler makes it all the way to 3rd. How about Topher Ingles, Jonathan Breeze, and Austin Politelli 9th, Brad Knott at 10th.
Getting the Royal Distributing hole shot and second place in the second moto here from Saint-Denis is the number 15 to Kevin Benoit. Kevin, a great battle out there with your teammate for the lead. Holy smokes, you had a great start and a nice comfortable second place to finish.
Oh yeah, I had a really good start, and I got out front. I try to stay out front, but Jeremy knows the track really good here. It's his local track, so I was losing some time at some places. But once he passed me, we kept battling for a lot of laps, and really happy with the second today.
Hard fought third place, second MX2 moto here from Saint-Denis is the number 1 of Tyler Medaglia. Tyler, fabulous race out there. You had some heavy pressure getting into third place and a tough track. I know you're sweating really hard. The humidity is tough, but a nice crowd backing you up, though, I think.
Yeah, you know, that makes all the difference. Everybody cheer me on, and you know, I just wasn't too happy with the way I rode. I mean, I got cut off on the start pretty bad. I wasn't too happy about that, but you know, I just worked my butt off. The KTM boys rode good. And
That's a solid day for you. Good solid
again,
points
thanks for
here.
everyone
We got
for
2
coming
more
out
motos
to
left.
cheer me
To
on.
the MX2 Championship after 8 of 9. Tyler looking poised for another number 1 plate, but it's pretty tight there with Politelli, Jeremy Medaglia, Schoberg, Lee, Nonnet, and Ingles.
Great day of racing in the MX2 class. Let's go to our final podium. Medaglia, Benoit, and Schoberg. MX1 action coming up. Welcome back to round 8 of the 2011 Monster Energy Motocross Nationals. Mark Travers and Brian Coster prepared to bring you race action from the famous Saint-Denis MX Park just outside of Ottawa, Ontario. The lovely Monster Sunny has that 30 board out, and this second MX2 moto will be brought to you by Smith Optics. Brian, great shot of Julie bringing that board across.
We'll see if Colton Fasciotti can repeat with the clean sweep, Travs. He won in quite dominating fashion in Moto 1. But Dusty Klatt was right there, so if Klatt can get the start here, it's going to be his race.
And Brian, we were checking the points in between motos, and if Colton Fasciotti gets even a decent result in this moto, he will clinch the MX1 championship for this 2011 season. The gate is down, Brian, flying into that first corner. Nice little cluster. Fasciotti on the inside. Klatt looking good. Thought I saw Moffenbauer, and there goes Teddy Mayer again on the inside, moving into second place.
And Keast has got a good start too. It's wild how this start can drift to the outside. On board with Mason Phillips, just gets a face full of roost from, looks like TJ Phillips right in front of him.
A pair of lips flying over the big title jump right as we get to the business cans. We see our lead package flow through the Zox corner.
It's really cool watching the riders go away and the other pack coming in towards us. 40 riders on the gate. Dusty Klatt making a little quicker work of Offenbauer. Took him many laps to get by in the first moto, by clean. And it's nice to see Dusty without all that roost up the front of his jersey.
Kyle Keith sitting in 5th place, and I thought I saw the 101 of Matt. Yes, right there, Matt Gorky sitting in 6th. So we've got all of our big name riders up front right now.
And it looks like Gorky's making a move on Keith on the inside. Gorky on the outside. We'll see if he gets him. Klatt there in front of Offenbauer, really fast through this Tree Line Hell's Kitchen area.
Right now, Klatt wants to get into that front package toe and get hooked up with Mayer because he does not want Fasciotti to get too far away, Brian, if he has any idea of getting a win here today.
I'm loving Dusty's line way to the left. It's a lot smoother there. Gets set up a little tighter on this left-hander, but always saving energy on the entry.
Fabs, it looks like Gorky did get by Keith through the Hell's Kitchen, moving back to the number 33, Travis Sewell. Marshall's in the mix. Willard and the number 22 of Liam O'Farrell with a great start in the sand.
And great to see the Orange Motorsports rider of O'Farrell. He's only doing the last 5 Eastern rounds as well. Fasciotti's starting to pull out a bit of a gap on Teddy Mayer, but it's big old Dusty Klatt coming in to make life difficult for Mayer, I'm sure of it.
Watching our front runners go through here, Brian, I don't want to be surprised anymore about Moffenbauer being up in the mix. He's part of this clan. Let's move on. Klatt on the inside blows by Mayer and moves into second place. So he took care of business quick there. Now he wants to latch on to Fasciotti.
That is a super fast part of the racetrack. Oh, Klatt goes wide. Mayer capitalized. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Teddy Mayer. But look at this. Klatt's got the advantage on the inside. But we saw Fasciotti pass Mayer around the outside here earlier in the day. Mayer can't quite capitalize on it.
Well, the situation's the same for Mayer. He doesn't want to let Klatt go as well because he wants to get on that front-running train because he's got a host of pilots right behind him. Moffenbauer, Gorky. Then we're talking about Keist.
Wow, we know Gorky can ride really well here as well as Keist when the going gets tough. We know what Keist does. he gets going. So I'm sure we're going to see a little bit more of him before this is over, because he's not going to quit, and traditionally, he's been getting the better of Moffenbauer, who's leading him right now.
Oh my goodness, look at how aggressive Teddy Mayer is on the outside through that brass knuckle therapy corner. He takes care of Dusty Klatt and moves into second place. What a pass.
He's got to get the monkey off his back. Mayer has got to go toe-to-toe with these guys. He's doing it right now, so this is huge for his confidence. If he can come out of this going, hey man, I can beat Dusty straight up mano-a-mano, man, that's going to be huge for his psyche.
Moffenbauer on the inside, moving outside. Gorky carrying speed in the same place that he got Keast last lap. Moving up to second place with Teddy Mayer, then Dusty Klatt, then Moffenbauer. Nice little package.
Good racing here through the trees. This track has kind of like 3 clover leaves in the back going around the trees, and here is Colton coming out of one of them, going into the third kind of clover leaf around the bush. We lose sight of them momentarily, and Teddy just perfect position there, getting the power on the back wheel. But it's this guy right here, the Gork man. He's dangerous.
Yeah, he is a full danger man for sure, but I like the fact that Fasciati's already starting to stretch out that lead on Mayer, who is in second place. Our top 6 riders, let's make it 7 with the 33 of Sewell starting to stretch out on the rest of this pack.
Well, out of the trees comes Klatt ahead of Mayer, racing up to the ski jump by the mechanics area. Boom, second.
And Faz, with the riders as close as they are, it's reminiscent of 2007 when we had one of our best motos of all time. 5 guys battling for the lead. Holman's won that one. Oh, Moffenbauer goes down on one of those slick clay edges.
Pushing way too hard here. He knows he was in a great spot. It was kind of a weird crash. I think the front end pushed and there was a hole there. So down he goes. But at least he keeps the engine running, Travs. Only lost a couple positions there. So, but you know what I want to say? It's really hard to get back up to race speed after you lose your rhythm from a crash.
To our leader, number 10, Colton Fasciati, had the whole shot, has led wire to wire so far. And look at the gap that he's got on second place, the number 1 of Dusty Klatt, who's been part of that little package of 4 or 5 riders. And here they come again. Mayer in third place and Gorky in fourth. And I love the lines down here, Brian. Good options.
Teddy Mayer gets no moment's rest in this moto because Gorky is coming on like gangbusters. And then the number 4, and there it is. Gorky's gotten by his teammate. That is third place. And now Teddy Mayer has Keast to deal with because Keast has got the bit between the teeth right now.
Well, Mayer's been on the hot seat the whole moto. Started out in second place with a great start, but then he had a handful of Klatt. Then he had Gorky, and now he's got the bulldozer, Kyle Keast. Oh my goodness. Dude, I love the way he was carrying speed around that corner. Holy mackerel.
Keast has got the blade up, and he is going forward. Colton Fasciati just having some fun out front. You know, he's just buttering everything. Kid looks like he's not even trying. He's always in the right gear. The bike always just pulls so well. These Yamahas tune so well. And there's Dusty Klatt, equally prepared motorcycle, but just about 10 seconds to drift to Colton.
It looks like Gorky's got some good lines. He's caught right up to Klatt, and he goes inside and
no!
Big connection, Brian, and both riders are down.
Holy smokes, Gorky was using that line to make passes and get through lappers really well. Dusty on the outside, wheel spin into the inside, bam, racing incident. But look who's up, it's Gorky, and Klatt's still picking up his bike, so this is huge. Gorky's moved up a notch.
Right, let's have another look at that because I don't think it was necessarily Gorky's fault. I think he was holding his line, and just as you said, I think Klatt drifted back inside.
Yeah, well, we'll see right here. Gorky comes in. He's been using this line a lot, but look what they do. They kind of meet. And unfortunately, Dusty just got a little bit askew there and came right down in. Complete racing incident. Nobody at fault there. That is what you call motocross.
Gorky was lucky to keep the bike going now, Brian. He's up and running. Closed the gap on third place, Teddy Mayer. And I don't like the body English of Mayer right now. It looks like I don't even like his defense.
He's been pushing hard all race, and under pressure, it's got to be weighing on him. But we just saw, coming out of Hell's Kitchen, the number 4, there's the pass. Gorky gets by for third, but it's the number 4, Kyle Keast in second. Teddy Mayer responding, though. I'm liking the stones of this kid.
I like the fact that Gorky used the same line that he just went down on to make that pass. Very confident with that to the number 33 of Travis Sewell and the 23 of Moffenbauer, who was racing in the top 5, had that low slide, is now sitting in 6th place with that Klatt incident.
Oh, Moffenbauer triples looking very aggressive right here. He goes for that inside Gorky line. And he does. He passes Sewell. That's 5th place. What a strong, inspired ride from Moffenbauer coming from way back after that slow slide.
To the number 4 of Kyle Keast, World Distributing KTM, sitting in 2nd place, but a very strong. Oh, did he have a problem?
Yes.
Let's check back.
Oh, no.
He did go down, Brian.
He clipped that hay bale with his handlebar and it pinched him off. He's still up and running, though, in third, but Gorky's now has inherited second place, and the rain looks like it's starting to team down again.
Keith was lucky to keep the motorcycle going there. That was a big plus for him. To the 23 of Sean Moffenbar getting his last lap flag, Brian. We're going to move ahead to our leader, number 10, Colton Fasciotti, on his final approach, getting ready for a clean sweep Rooney.
Oh, look at him just cruising in. He's had a great little Sunday drive. Takes the checkers for yet another win here in fine style. A nice little whip for the crowd. Fasciotti clinches the championship with that moto win. To the Yamaha leaderboard, Gorky gets second. Key Strong for third. Mayer and Moffenbayer have a good moto. Dusty Klatt has to settle for seventh after being so strong that it's Willard, Phillips, and Jerry Lorenz.
Blackfoot Yamaha out front once again, buddy. A nice, easy day, and we've done some points on TV. We can talk about it. It's done early. You've won the championship this year.
Yeah, I think so. It's still a technicality, but I think we added them up, and I should be 1 point ahead or something. But you know, I had 2 solid motos today, 2 great starts, and that's what it takes. It just takes good starts, and I was getting good starts all year, and yeah.
Yeah, had a tough day. Bad starts, both motos. First moto, my fork seal broke, and then I got oil on my brake, had no front brake, and then I had to lost my goggles. But that moto, I just got a bad start, caught up the second. Me and Dusty collided and fell, and I got back up and I think fourth, and then just worked hard and got back up to second, so went pretty good.
Royal Distributing KTM lunchbox racer, because he's got a real job, Kyle Keith's buddy. Great way to finish the day here. I know you wanted that second. You had it there. Just a little bit of a tip over, but a solid day.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I can't really complain about the day. Ran in the first moto, ended up 4-3, so it's a good day. Kind of pissed me off there going down in that second moto, but I mean, stuff happens and nothing I can do about it.
Oh, it's a very good job on the stage, Goldfender. 2-hour championship points. Fasciotti's clinched it, but there's still a good battle there with Mayer, Keys, Gorky, Moffenbayer, Phillips, and Willard 1 point behind the injured Urquhart. All our overall winners today, Jeremy and Colton, get their name on the Dale Argue Cup. It's been an epic day here at Sandali. Travs?
Nice job, Fabs. Okay, you have been watching the 2011 Monster Energy Motocross Nationals. Brought to you by Motovan.com, Canada's source for power sports parts and accessories. For Ryan Gould, Brian Coster, Mark Stallybrass, Brett Lee, and the whole Hangman Production track crew, I'm Mark Travers. We'll see you next week in Walton.